Assalamu alaikum and welcome to this very special edition of Sports Extra. I'm your host Ahmed Nawaz and I'm bringing you something very exclusive. Now the South African women's team is on a tour to Pakistan and it's a great moment for all you cricket fans, especially our young girls out there who get to see so many heroes on the field, and they've got so many fans already over here that have been watching them over the years as a South African team. So very lucky that we're going to be talking to some of the members of this South African team. We're going to be talking about their careers, what's the journey been like for them growing up and wanting to be a cricketer and then playing for the national side. And not just that, then come to Pakistan and play in front of a crowd that has really wanted to see cricketers in action, cricket in their own home yard, and also at the fact look at some of these heroes for inspiration. So I think without any further wait or without any further delays, I'm going to introduce you first of all to this lady who's got more than 2,000 runs when you talk about one-day internationals. In T20, it's a phenomenal record. You talk about the wickets tally, the runs tally, everything is ticking for this lady, and she's been representing South Africa with pride and with honor as well. We've got Marizanne Kapp. Assalamu alaikum. Good afternoon. How are you?
Hi, I'm good, thanks, and yourself. Thank you
Great.
so much for having me.
Thank you so much. You've enjoyed a fantastic career so far, and I understand there must be so many fans all around the world. But I understand that first of all, we just need to know that little story of a young girl growing up and then thinking that, cricket is something I want to do.
Yeah, look, obviously back home, grew up as a bit of a tomboy, played all the sports that the boys did. Till this day, I can't tell you why cricket is the one I chose, but I'm very blessed and very glad that I chose cricket. Never would I have ever thought I would be sitting here in Pakistan speaking to you about women's cricket. So it's been exciting times. From where women's cricket started, I mean, I didn't even know there was a national women's team in South Africa 14 years ago. Obviously, like I mentioned, made my debut. You played for the love of the sport, and here we are today with so many big name countries having women's teams, and especially what has recently been in the news, a lot of the women's teams are on equal match fees as the men. So it's just been one incredible journey. It's so good to see women's cricket growing, and happy to be here in Pakistan.
Well, I understand that there is a big difference when you decide that from now on I'm going to take my amateur love of the sport to something professional. And right now, the way cricket is evolving, it's a very demanding field. I mean, just the amount of travel you guys are going through, and then playing matches and the frequency of games, it's all evolving at a rapid pace. So how is it to keep up with that, including keeping yourself physically fit, modern day shots, whatever you want to call them, all kinds of silly stuff happening on the field. So how hard it is as a professional athlete to go through that routine?
It's a challenge. I'm not going to sit here and lie, especially coming from amateur cricket. When I started my career, you trained, but it was for the love of the sport. And now it's almost like you mentioned, we play so many tours for South Africa and then franchise cricket as well. So it's demanding, but I mean, it's for the love of the sport still till this day. I love playing for my country. I love playing in all these leagues and touring different countries. I mean, I've played for South Africa for 14 years, and finally I get the chance to come over and play in Pakistan. So it's just been one amazing journey, and I'm glad I could be there when things weren't as good in the sport, and seeing how it has grown and how far we've come. It's just amazing to see.
So how does the younger lot look up to you when they realize they've got a senior in the likes of Marizanne, who's been there for 14 years? How's that sharing of experience with the youth?
I don't see myself as that, to be honest. It's just my teammates. I obviously help where I can, but I am someone who's quiet. If anywhere in the world I play cricket and someone asks me for advice, I'm always open to share my knowledge. But yeah, I'm very focused when I'm on tour and when I'm playing, and I feel like I've got so much to worry about. So I just try and focus on my own game and hopefully winning games for my country.
That's very interesting. And talk us through that dressing room environment of Cricket South Africa, especially when you talk about this women's team, because you must have seen so many players and so many dressing rooms and environments. So how's that camaraderie between all of you girls when you're on the field?
Look, the last couple of years has been really tough. I mean, you guys, everyone knows about the retirements we've had, and it's been people that I made my debut with 14 years ago. So it's been sad at times, especially for someone like me, because they have been my close friends. But it's also, we have a young group within this team. Now it's time to build towards the future, especially after making that World Cup final. You don't want to drop off now. We want to keep on fighting and performing. So we've got a mixed bunch of players in the change room, where I think that's the amazing thing of sport and playing it within a team. You have different personalities, different cultures, and players with different skills. So we are a mix, and like I said, we had a few retirements, and now it's time to build towards the future.
I don't want to get you all emotional, but which of these retirements has been the biggest heartbreak so far?
Look, all of them. For me, the biggest one would obviously have to be Danae. I mean, we actually made our debut at the same tour, 2009, at the World Cup in Australia, and playing under with the leadership skills that she had, and the fight she showed. For years, she carried this team. But no, look, each one of them that has retired were special. They were my friends, and the most recent one, Shibi, opened the bowling with her for I think 10, 12 years. So it's heartbreaking, and it's going to be my first tour again without, I think there's like 5 of them that has retired. So it's sad.
Almost
but
half the team.
Yeah, it's sad, but
but that means that automatically the pressure comes on you to be that leader of that attack, because it's interesting. And I wanted to ask you this, that it must be great fun having a new ball partner on the other end, who really, when she comes into ball, the batters have got fear in their eyes. So that would be a great feeling as a opening bowler, to see fear in the eyes of the batters together. Yeah,
look, we had a great partnership. Like I said, we opened the bowling, I think, for the past 10 or 12 years. But not to forget about Aya, Ponga, Kaka as well. The 3 of us, we had an amazing partnership for the last couple of years.
And 3 musketeers.
And that's the amazing thing, that if on the day I was struggling, Aya and Shibi would bowl really well, and vice versa. If tomorrow I was on point, one of them was struggling. And I think that's just the amazing thing about team sport, that you had players like that you can rely on, and it just made your job so much easier.
So who's been the hero or the icon growing up? Who's been the most favorite cricketer to watch and enjoy?
Look, I absolutely love my cricket, so I watched every single team play. But no, it has to be, I had a few that I really liked or enjoyed watching. Jock Cullis, Sean Pollock, even Afridi. I was always a massive fan of him as well. And I'm actually, at this moment, I'm past that stage where I have role models in cricket or people I look up to, but one of my favorites has to be Shaheen Afridi. I absolutely love his bowling. Saw him now at the 100 as well. I think he has an amazing career ahead of him.
Well, thank you very much for joining us. I've been more of a Graham Smith fan, so I would take, being a lefty myself, so I would take that. But Marizanne, thank you very much. You're such an inspiration. And I guess you hear it from all over the world, but we're really honored to have you in Pakistan especially, and I hope you've been treated well so far.
The people have been absolutely amazing. Thank you.
Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
Now we'll just go towards more players that are coming up, so stay tuned.